Um, so that way we can post it on our YouTube channel. And if anybody isn't able to make it today, but they still want to do the 30-day challenge with us, they can. Or if you guys want to share this video challenge with anybody that you know, anybody in your office, feel free to. We'd love to get as many people on as possible. I think it's just going to be very powerful, especially if you're in the real estate business, real estate space. You don't have to be if you want to do the 30-day challenge, but if you are in the real estate business, a lot of this is going to be very relevant to you and your business. James, what's up, man? Long time no see.
Hey, Scott. Renee, good to see you guys.
Hope you're doing well, man. All right, so let's get into it. And this is just going to be an information session, guys, on what we plan to do during the 30-day challenge. So, why this webinar? Well, if you joined us last year, this same time of the year, we did another info session for the 30-day video challenge in an effort to get all of you to do more video because it's just very powerful for your business. And like I said, whether your primary business is real estate, which I think most of the people on here that is the case, or it's not real estate, it's going to be relevant. Doing more video is definitely going to help you grow your social followings and get you more business in the long run. So, but as a real estate agent, many agents struggle to do video. So the challenge is really geared to kind of get you out of your comfort zone and I heard I should do video. Everybody, they hear that they should be doing more video, but they struggle to actually do it. So this is kind of a nudge. We're hoping this will be a nudge to get you going. We also know that agents are looking at ways to grow their social media and get more likes and more engagement. Obviously, we track a lot of this. We coach to growing social platforms in our coaching business. We coach to getting more engagement so that it actually turns into business. We coach on what to post and what gets more engagement. And so some of those things during the video challenge, you're going to get handed to you at no cost. It's all free. And then one of the biggest areas that challenges agents from taking action is what to post. So we will share some of those ideas with you guys today. In addition to that, since you guys I have all of your email addresses, since you registered for this Zoom, I will have Amanda email you all the ideas for what to post. I think there's 41. Is that right, Amanda? I think there's 41 ideas for what to post in a video that'll help you get more engagement. So, because we know if you post the right content, if you maximize our video tips that we're going to share, you use proper hashtags, and you're consistent, it's gonna turn in to growing your social channels and it's gonna turn into business. We know this because I'm a tracker. I track everything, and the people that we coach have gotten business from it. So, any questions so far? All right. Oh, yes, Jonine.
I just want to share that one of the agents in my office, Neelam Singh, this is just since December. Her social media, Instagram has exploded because she's been posting 4 to 5 videos a week, and they're all real estate related. And she has 39,000 followers on Instagram now. And that's only 1 month. And I think before that she had just a few thousand. So it works, is what I want to
Wow.
say.
Wow, that's incredible.
39,000. It is. And she had someone help her, but her thing on, if you want to follow her is Sing Neelam, like Singh, Neelam Z. So, and the videos, they're fine. I mean, I don't think it looks like a professional helped her. So they just look pretty regular, but they're all real estate related. The thing is she is very consistent. And this has only been in the past, oh, I guess maybe the past 2 months. But she had less than 10,000 followers before that. So I just
Wow.
wanted to bring that up because it's wow. I'm like, oh my gosh, if that's not testament to how much this really works, what would be, right? And fast growth
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
the key with anything in business, we coach to this all the time, is consistency. If you're consistent in a prospecting type activity like posting videos, you will get business from it over time. I mean, it's just numbers game at that point, right? So I'm going to share with you guys. Obviously, we want to do a 30-day challenge. The 30-day challenge will start on February 1st, if you plan to officially join us or not. And it'll go for 30 days, which means it'll go into the first couple days of March. But before we get you started doing videos, if you're not familiar with videos or you just want to optimize posting better videos, let us give you some tips from all the research that we do as a coaching company on what works for making better videos. So the first is to make sure that your camera, the height of your camera is at least even with your face. So like right now with mine, it's actually about 2 inches too low. So, and I did that on purpose so that I can show you guys. So if you're using a laptop like I'm using right now, okay, what you want to actually do is get it to where it's actually more even with your face. Okay, we don't want people feeling like they're looking up at us, right? Or if some of us, like I have a double chin, or I could definitely look like I have a double chin, right? I don't want anybody seeing that. I don't want somebody seeing that I didn't shave today, right? So if they're just looking at your eyeballs, that's what you want to do. Line up the camera with your eyeballs or higher, or higher. So you see a lot of people when they do videos, a lot of times you'll see them, and if you see people out in the mall or in shopping centers or just out on the street, they're usually holding the camera up above their eyes. So that's fine too. But the key is not lower than the eyes. Okay, makes sense? Next tip, ensure your lighting is good. Okay. Don't video with lights behind you. It's going to have discoloration and your face might be dark and shadowy, which is not, it's kind of scary for some people to look at a dark, shadowy figure. So, like I post my videos in front of, there's a window right in front of me, in case you're wondering. But if I didn't have a window, if I'm in a dark room with no windows, I can use a ring light. And that's why people use ring lights. So hopefully that makes sense. So make sure, and if you're outside, make sure you're facing the sun and that the sun is not behind you. So you want the light on your face, in other words. Okay, so that's the next tip. Make sure your background is adequate for the video. So like Jonine is using like a virtual background, they call it, right? That's totally fine. So a virtual background is fine. Blurring your background like I'm doing or like James is doing is fine as well. Or like if you look at Renee's video or Mike's video, neither one of them has anything that's going to be distracting to the viewer, right? So we don't want to have anything that's going to be distracting to the viewer. Like you're in your kitchen and there's dirty dishes or you know what I mean? Like we just need to be careful what's in the background. So before you start doing a video, just take a look at what's behind you. It doesn't mean it has to be staged, although there's a lot of people that do this influencer thing on social media professionally, and they have like professional sets. I remember talking to Adam Contos, the former CEO of Remax, and he showed me his video space, which was like it was like a set on a TV show, right? And I think it was in his garage. So it was like a fake built out little set that just looked really cool, non-distracting, very simple things on the shelves behind them. So that's the kind of thing, right? We want to just make sure that our background is adequate. Any questions on that? All right. And then start the video with a smile. So several of you over the years have gotten videos from me through email, and it always starts with this. Usually my hand is in the frame and a smile on my face. Okay. Always start with a smile. Somebody's more likely to open the video and watch it if you're smiling in the screenshot that they see. Does that make sense? And then try to have your hands in the video frame. So I mentioned having my hand in the video frame. There's something about trust that's built by somebody seeing your hand in the video. It's kind of like, what are you doing? If I can't see your hands, what are you doing? You know? And so we want to make sure that at least one hand is visible, especially at the start of the video. Okay. It's just a psychological thing. I don't know all the reasons behind the psychology, but they did some research on TED Talks, and the TED Talk speakers that talk more with their hands and they do lots of hand gestures while they're on stage, they go viral compared to the ones that are very monotone and they don't move much and they don't smile much. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Is Greg Kettner still on here? We have a TEDx speaker on here. Greg, is that
Hey,
true? Do
Scott.
you find that to be true as a TEDx speaker yourself and a
Yeah,
comedian?
I think it's just the more that we can make it feel like we're talking in a room to a person, and which is the hands on the screen, right? Then, like you said, it builds trust.
Yep. Yep. Builds trust. Yep. Thank you. All right. And then start with the hook. Try to eliminate hello or happy Friday. Kind of get to the point quickly. I'll give you an example of that. And by the way, if Happy Friday is all you have for that video, I'd rather you do it and just get that video out than not do it. Okay. So don't get me wrong, but try to start with something that's a little bit more likely to get somebody to watch it beyond a few seconds, because we also do research on how long does somebody watch the video for. And TikTok is really good at getting you this analytics. If you have a TikTok account, you can actually look at this and see how long people stay on the video. Is it 2 seconds? Is it 1 second? For most of the videos on TikTok, it's less than a second. So if you don't get somebody's attention quick with a smile, with a hand, and then with what you're about to say, they're going to swipe and go to the next video. Okay. So we have to start with a hook. So a hook would be, what's going on in real estate in our market today? Hey, it's Scott Comey with ABC Real Estate. And here is what I'm going to share with you today. Okay. So you're giving them a little glimpse at what the video is about right away. Okay. It's kind of like the new, if you ever watch the news, which I gave up watching the news years ago because it's so, I mean, you can't trust it sometimes, but also it's very negative, right? And they always start with breaking news, though, it seems like. There's always something that's breaking news. Breaking news, shots fired, and you're like, "Oh, where were the shots fired at? I got to watch this." And then usually they just give you a little quick news story on that, but then more to come later, and then they want you to watch 30 more minutes before they give you the full story with somebody live on the scene. So start with a little bit of a hook. All right. So the different social media channels that you can be on, and there's a lot of them, as you guys know, but Instagram has Reels, Facebook has Reels. There's Facebook business pages. Obviously, there's YouTube that's been around a long time. TikTok is still around, by the way. It hasn't gone away. It did go away for like 12 hours. It's back. I don't know if you can download. I don't know if you're not new to the platform, if you can still download it, but it's back. So we've been active on TikTok again and getting lots of views and all that stuff. So no issues there. LinkedIn, and then any others that you guys like that you want to just share. If anybody's using something different that's not on there. Nothing specific? Okay. Now, quick disclosure, as a coach, I would say do not be on all of these things. And I'm not saying to be on all of these things. You want to pick essentially 2 or 3 that you focus on. So in other words, if you don't have a YouTube channel, please don't go set up an account and start a YouTube channel. Okay. The YouTube algorithms are very difficult anyways. So I would almost prefer, if you're not into video right now and you're just kind of getting started, don't go to YouTube. It's not going to be a great platform for you yet. Okay. Start with Instagram, start with Facebook. Those are 2 platforms I think every real estate agent for sure should be on. And then if you want to dabble in a little bit more video, maybe go TikTok. Okay. Any questions on that? All right. So let's talk about kind of some nuances as it pertains to these different channels. So we want to pick, like I said, 1 or 2 places that we're going to primarily focus on for these 30 days. Okay. So even if you have all of those channels, for this 30-day challenge, try to pick just 1 or 2. Yes, we can repurpose some of the content and post the same video essentially on multiple channels, but try to just focus on 1 or 2. We know from coaching in the 12-week year that if you focus on less, especially in a specified time frame, you're more likely to have success. Okay. So just pick 1 or 2 during the 30 days to focus on. And then what we want to do is we want to note how many followers or how many people like our business page today. So we want to get a kind of a starting point so that we know if the video challenge was a success for you in growing your social media following. Now we know that if you do the challenge and you're consistent, mostly consistent on the challenge, you're going to grow your social media following. We've seen it time and time again. And then what you want to do is right now, as I'm talking, share in the chat on this or in the comment section of this Zoom, share your handle is what they call it on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok so that we can all follow each other. And then if you guys can do everybody a favor, let's grow a little bit everybody's that's on here following followers. Does that make sense? Get everybody a little boost. So start putting in the chat, if you guys don't mind, your social channels. And for us, it's Turn the Dial Coaching. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So we're not fancy. We're not Turn the Dial Coaching 101. We're not Turn the Dial Coaching without the vowels. We're just Turn the Dial Coaching. So you can follow us on all of those. And then you can follow everybody else on these different ones. And yeah, I see Greg even put the link to his LinkedIn. That's awesome. Thank you for putting those in, guys. We'll help each other out. We'll help each other out. All right. And then what we want to do is, as we're posting these videos, and this is true even of posts without videos, we want to use hashtags. Okay. Hashtags are important if we want people to actually find the video. Okay. But there's a right way to use hashtags and there's a wrong way. And a lot of people do it the wrong way. I've been watching this for many, many years. So the hashtags are going to make the content discoverable. And I'll give you some examples of how it works here in a second. They increase visibility of that video. And then the mistakes the agents have been making, they use way too many. I'm going to show you exactly how many each platform suggests you use to get the best engagement for that video and to not confuse the algorithms. Because that's the problem when you have 15 hashtags, is the algorithm doesn't know directly who to send it to. So yes, you might get some engagement, but it's going to be the wrong engagement, right? It's not going to be good engagement. We want to use hashtags that make sense for that post, which I'll give you some examples here in a second. And we want to use hashtags that are, the mistakes that agents make is they use hashtags that are vague and can cause confusion to the algorithm. So here's what Instagram says. Instagram says that the 5 types of hashtags to get the most and best engagement is you want to identify, and by the way, this is not specific to real estate. This is for any brand, okay? Any brand, anybody looking to grow their brand. You want to identify the location that your business is located in or that you're trying to grow your business in, okay? You want to use your brand, right? You want to use your brand. So for me, it would be the Comey team. When I used to sell real estate, my brand was the Comey team. So it would be hashtag the Comey team. The industry, real estate, right? Hashtag real estate. For Greg Kettner, it would be speaking or business meetings or something like that, right? So he might do hashtag those. Community, if there's a specific community. And what I mean by that is, for a real estate agent, that might be like a neighborhood. But for somebody like Greg, who's not a real estate agent, it might be a specific demographic of people he wants to get in front of. Say, for example, social workers, right? Hashtag social workers, because Greg does a lot with engaging clients and getting them more happy and working in a happy environment, right? So you might want to appeal to that kind of audience. So whatever kind of primary audience or neighborhood you want to focus on, that's one. And then if there's something specific in that video, that's the last hashtag that you should use. Okay. For example, if the hashtag is about me hosting an open house this weekend, hashtag open house. Hashtag Carolina Forest. That's my neighborhood that I live in, right? If that's the open houses in that neighborhood, hashtag the Comey team. That's my brand. So all my people find me, and anybody that's looking to hire me can find me and all the content I post, right? Is that making sense? But then I would still do hashtag Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because that's the location I'm located in. So hopefully you guys are getting all of this. All right. So here's a couple of hashtags. I just kind of mentioned some of them. But if I'm doing a first-time homebuyer seminar, and that's the video, hashtag first-time homebuyers. If I'm just posting a new listing, hashtag homebuyers. You got to think about what searches people might put in to try to find that video. And those are the hashtags you want to use, right? All right. And then for Facebook, they say don't use more than 5 hashtags. So they say the same thing as Instagram. Instagram says use 5. Well, Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company, so it doesn't surprise me. But don't use more than 5 hashtags. Use hashtags in a sentence, right? So after you do the video, you post the video on Facebook, and you always don't just post a video, by the way, always put like a little description leading up to what that video is about. So I would put, I'm hosting a hashtag open house today or this Saturday in hashtag Carolina Forest. Hope you can join hashtag the Comey team at the open house. Do you see what I did there? So they like for you to use it in there if you can. And then don't use spaces. So I gave you an example there, hashtag social space media. It's not going to pick up the media. You got to put them together. The algorithms are smart enough to know those are separate words. So it'll do it for you. So just do hashtag social media, for example, and it'll put them in for you. Make sense? And then you can see there the graph on the right-hand side. So the number of hashtags used versus engagement. So you do one hashtag, and you're like, well, why wouldn't I just do one hashtag if I get more engagement? The reason is because if it's just hashtag open houses, you're going to get people from out of state, out of area that are finding your post and it's not relevant to them. So you're just kind of getting the wrong audience. So 3 to 5 trains the algorithm, the specific audience you're looking for. More than that, you're confusing it and you're actually going to get less engagement. Okay. Any questions on that? So that's where we want to be. 3 to 5 hashtags. Okay. For TikTok, now last year we did the video challenge. TikTok had actually increased the number of characters in the caption area. They have a caption area on TikTok to 300. Well, they've reduced it since then to 150 characters. So, but you do want to maximize the caption space. And I know that TikTok, a lot of people don't read the captions in TikTok. They just watch the videos, or they watch the captions on the screen as you talk, which you definitely want to use captions in your video if you have that capability in whatever video platform you're using. You definitely want to try to have captions on the screen because some people do watch videos without the sound on. But when I say in the caption, I'm talking about essentially in TikTok, if you're not familiar with the platform, it kind of shows up as the first comment. As you see the comments kind of scrolling as you're watching the video, the first comment is your description of that video in a caption. Okay. So it's 150 characters, and TikTok will use every single one of those words in there as basically another search help for your search. So the more you can maximize the 150 characters, the more the exact person that needs to see that video is going to see it. So you definitely want to maximize your characters in that caption area of TikTok if you use TikTok. And then use a mix of general and niche hashtags. So open houses, Everett, Washington homes, Myrtle Beach homes, or hashtag Myrtle Beach, or hashtag homes for sale, all of those things. And I'm going to show you guys, I like to do a search myself, and you guys can do this for yourself too. If you search in Facebook or you search in TikTok with, like, for example, if I type in Snohomish County homes for sale in a search on TikTok, anybody that had a combination of all of these hashtags is whose video I'm going to see. And I actually did that, and I can show you some of what we came up with. So I did a hashtag. Sorry, I didn't use hashtag in my search because most people that search don't put the hashtags in the search. In the search, I put Snohomish County real estate. And then now this is actually an old search, but these were the 4 videos that came up. Okay. These are the 4 videos that came up. Now I know all of the people in these videos personally. And actually one of them is on here. Sandy Meyer is on here right now. But that tells me, and when I actually clicked on these videos individually, when I did this, the hashtags were all there. You know, whether it's hashtag Snohomish County real estate, all is one, which is fine, or hashtag Snohomish County, separate hashtag real estate, right? It's going to still find it because the search I'm doing as a consumer is getting me there because of the hashtags they use. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. Any questions about hashtags? Yes, Amanda.
Do you find it better to do hashtag Snohomish County or to abbreviate some of those things? Will they still come up either way?
Well, I would just do it non-abbreviated personally, because that's where I think real estate agents do too many hashtags.
Mhm.
And most of the algorithms are finding even the nicknames of things, like Snowco, right, is
Right.
something that you hear a lot for Snohomish County as like an abbreviated thing. A lot of times the algorithms are finding that the same person is looking at Snohomish County and Snowco, so they just blend it anyways, and the algorithm picks up on that automatically. So, good question though. All right, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we want to use niche hashtags for better exposure, like Lake Stevens Homes or Myrtle Beach Condos, all in one hashtag. They like to see it all in one hashtag. Um, in terms of the niche part of that, you're still putting your brand in, right? So we can still do that. So Greg, for example, can still put his audience in there or the niche, like speaking event or whatever he wants to put in there, but he can also put in his work happy brand as one of the hashtags. So 3 to 5, they still like 3 to 5. If you put too many hashtags on LinkedIn, they'll actually spam your post and nobody will see it. So LinkedIn has at least gotten smart to that and said, we're not going to let people just put a bunch of hashtags in here because we don't want that kind of audience. And actually, LinkedIn is very specific. They don't like sales necessarily happening on their platform anyways. So they like to keep it more networky, less salesy. So like, for example, if you're a real estate agent, just a couple side note, we don't post stuff like just listed for sale on LinkedIn. That's not a post I do there. Instead, LinkedIn likes more professional posts. So quotes, success quotes, or a tip, like a real estate home buyer tip, like educational stuff. That's what LinkedIn likes to see. Okay. Not the sales stuff like I'm trying to get another client. Obviously, we're all trying to get more business, but if you make it obvious, they don't really like that. So on LinkedIn. All right, to help with engagement, don't just use the video or an image in a post. Always add that brief description, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, or LinkedIn, and then use the proper hashtags. Always comment back on any comments you get, ideally asking a question back, because the way the point system works to keep your post relevant for a longer period of time. Like, do you ever get something, let's say you're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram and like you see a post that of like a friend of yours and it's from like a week ago. And you're like, how did I not see this? It's from a week ago. It's because whatever's happening with that post, there's enough engagement happening that it stayed relevant long enough that you finally saw it, which is what you want. That's like a dream scenario where like you can keep something alive for like a week. Like TikTok, stuff dies after like an hour. And I'm not joking. TikTok, if you can't grab that engagement, it dies after an hour. Like hardly anybody's going to see it after an hour. But on any of these, you could keep it going. And one of the ways to do it is every time somebody comments, like if James does a post about an open house, then I might say something like, wow, it looks like a nice house, James. James wants to then comment back on that, maybe even ideally asking a question like, what specifically did you like about the house? You know, seeing the pictures of it. So that way it causes me to have to answer, and all of those counts as like points to keep that post living longer. Does that make sense? So that's kind of the name of the game is always comment back. Ideally, if you have a question that can make sense, ask a question back to keep it going. So sometimes you'll see, wow, this post has 15 comments, but it really might just be 2 people going back and forth. And that's fine. For the algorithm, we're cool with that. So add the location, Seattle, WA, or even more specific, like Starbucks, Seattle, Washington. Like if you're broadcasting your video or making your video in a Starbucks, put that location, tag that location, right? Tag it because any customers that they have now will see that video where they wouldn't have before. Or if there's somebody in your video with you, like a lender, or for Greg, it could be another speaker, you know, tag that person as well, because now their audience, if they allow that, you know, to be on their platform, which some people have the settings set that way, Like I must approve if somebody tags me. But once he says approved, now all of my audience is going to see that post too, which is what you want. So tagging is good. And then post ideally at a more engaging time, as in day of the week and time for that channel. So get ready. We'll send you guys a recording of this too. We'll send it to all of you guys so that you have it to watch back if you need to. But there are better days and times to post on all the social platforms. So let me give this to you guys right now. Now, we do a whole class on this. I don't have time for that today. I'm just going to give you the snippets. So for Instagram, weekday mornings, and the worst day is Sunday. So if you're not going to post every day, don't worry about Sunday on Instagram. Facebook, Tuesday through Friday, 1 to 4. And the worst day for Facebook is Saturday. Okay. For LinkedIn, Tuesday mornings or Wednesday or Thursday, business hours. So think LinkedIn wants kind of a networking business, keep it all business, right? Less salesy. And business, most of the business community works like bankers hours, right? So that's how I think about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like bank hours. If I'm getting ready to post on LinkedIn, it better be Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, right? That's kind of how I look at them. And the worst days on LinkedIn is the weekend. And then TikTok, Tuesdays through Thursday, 2 to 6. 2 to 6. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the best days. And by the way, if you notice a consistency here, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the best days for most platforms. So if you forget anything, if you can't remember all of this, remember Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And if you're only going to post 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And the worst days for TikTok are Sundays. So weekends, unless you're at an open house, I wouldn't even worry about posting on weekends, except for the 30-day challenge. 30-day challenge, we don't skip any days. So in this 30-day challenge, you're going to do it anyways. All right. And then this is from Sprout Social, which I follow. They're the experts on social media tracking. So I read a lot of their articles to stay relevant in terms of what's happening with them. And so this is updated. The last one I posted of this was April 2023. So this is in August 2024. And it has changed a little bit to later in the day. So when I showed this graphic before, kind of midday was getting more of the heat. Now it's a little bit later afternoon. So 3 to like up to 6 p.m. on the Tuesday through Friday is kind of the prime time for TikTok. And I just posted TikTok because, believe it or not, a lot of the other channels are similar. So we can learn a lot from this, that if we post during these times that are in the darker, the better off we're going to be. If we post in the lighter times, the engagement is going to die. It's not going to stay relevant, because if you don't get a lot of comments, likes, loves, shares early in the post, they will crash and squash that post and you won't get anything. So we want to make sure we're optimizing the day and time. So what some people have done is they'll actually send a calendar reminder that, hey, it's 2 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I need to get my video out, right? So it's almost like an appointment that you put in your calendar as a recurring event. And then I wanted to show you guys, if you want to increase your following on Facebook, especially on your business page, if you didn't know how to do it before, I'm just going to show you real quick. This is our Turn the Dial coaching page. That's Renee's little grin. Sorry, Renee, I got your little grin there. But in the upper right-hand corner, when you're in your Facebook business page, and in my opinion, every real estate agent, every business should have one. But in the upper right-hand corner, there's 3 little dots like that. Click on that. And then it's going to bring you to this little menu here. Okay. Then what you want to do is it's going to allow you to invite people to follow you, to follow your business page. Now, I can invite all of my friends, which I don't recommend doing, or I can go in and find a specific audience that would make sense for following my business page. Okay. So there might be some things in here like Making Miracles closed group. That's not real estate. That's not a real estate group. So I wouldn't, for a real estate coaching business, I wouldn't want to have all of them invited, because otherwise they're going to be watching my page for no reason. So this allows you to choose the right audience for you. But that's how you can start by growing your audience a little bit. All right, I'm going to switch gears because I want to make this quick. I don't want to take a lot of your guys' time up. But just some ideas on what to post. Now, Greg, this won't be relevant for you necessarily, but some of it might. Who knows? But kind of what to post. So we've got 41 things that we came up with. I'm not going to go through all of them. You can screenshot, you can take a picture if you want, and I'm going to send you this video so you can recap it. And Amanda is going to email you the list anyways. So you'll kind of get an idea. But again, we did research on what posts, what types of posts gets the most engagement, because it's all relevant. You can post a crummy video on the right day and time and get decent engagement, or you can post the best video on the wrong day and time and get no engagement, right? So we kind of need to know what is our best chances for getting the best engagement. So we already know the days and times. Now we need to know what's the best things to post based on the research we've already done for you guys. So that's what this is, and she'll send you a list of that so you guys have it. Okay. And this is what it looks like. So you'll get that in your inbox soon. So look for that. We've got all your email addresses. And any of you guys can share it with anybody that you want. Greg, even I know, Greg, you probably know a lot of real estate agents. You can share it with whoever you want, and maybe it helps them out. And oh yeah, and then that's just a tip that I put there in red. And if you want to get additional ideas on what works for better engagement, Jonine already shared her agent who's really big on Instagram. I'm going to give you a couple more people that you might want to follow that I just know they post good stuff that gets good engagement. So there's nothing wrong with copycatting somebody else, right? It's the biggest form of flattery, actually. If you copy somebody else did this video, it worked for them, maybe it'll work for me. So that's kind of the idea behind that. So here's just a couple of people that I follow. The one on the left is from Nashville. The one on the right, gosh, I can't remember. I feel like he's Chicago or something like that. But their social followings are pretty good. So you can, now these are TikTok. Okay, these are TikTok, but a lot of these folks have their same handle on their Instagram and Facebook, which, by the way, if you can pull that off, that's ideal. That's ideal so that you're not confusing even your audience on the different platforms. So there's a couple for you. And then if you're in Snohomish County or in Washington State, here's a couple here. Now, Sandy Meyer's on here. Hers is Sandy Meyer Adventures. I track her. I've been tracking her for a long time. She's a coaching client. She has increased her social following by 15% just in the last year. And she does good videos, guys. And what she's been doing recently, I noticed, is repurposing some older videos that had success like a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, gained a lot of traction. She's basically doing videos right now that say on this day. And that's all it says. On this day, she posts the date that she originally posted that video, and that's the new video. And she's getting more views on it. So it's like, but I don't have time to record video, Scott. Well, then repurpose an old video. There might be something that's still relevant or that could still engage an audience, right? And that's what she's been doing, which I love. And then Michelle Cook is on, where's she at? She's on the peninsula somewhere, or she's on an island. Whidbey Island? Whidbey Island. She's on Whidbey Island. If you're in Washington State, you know what that is. And she's increased 28% over the last year. And now you will notice that hers are probably a little bit more studio ready versus the other threes, versus these two, and even Sandy's. Sandy's really good at editing her videos and stuff like that. I'm not knocking any of the other people. What I'm saying is, I know Michelle, like, she spends probably way too much time doing videos, and you don't need to, is my point. Okay. You don't need to. I love Michelle Cook. I love her videos. They're great content ideas if you're in real estate. So definitely follow her and Sandy to get ideas. But you don't have to do a full production, in other words. Okay. I never did. I still don't. Done is better than perfect, guys. That's the key with video. Most people won't do video because, I don't have my makeup on, my hair's not done. I'm in a bad area. My kids are with me. I mean, we can make up excuses to not do the video. Just do them, right? Just do them. Any questions? I've been kind of rattling on for a while. Yes, Amanda.
Craig has one in the comment section. Is there a secret length for our video, 60 to 90 seconds?
Is there, sorry, what is it?
A secret length, like a specific time that we should shoot for videos.
Yes. Yes. So depends on the platform. And we didn't get into that here. But yes, you don't want it to be too long-winded. So you don't want to go more than 2 minutes, and you definitely want to go at least 30 seconds, right? We want to capture somebody's attention long enough to hopefully hook them. So I would say 30 to 60 seconds is probably perfect. And you can say a lot in a minute. So it doesn't seem like a long time, but you can get a lot said in a minute. But you can also go as long as 2 minutes if you need to, or you could do a live video of like an open house, like a quick walkthrough on your open house, right? But that's a great question. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I missed that.
Hey,
All right,
Scott,
what
it's
you guys are
James.
all going to get, Greg, even you are going to get this. I'm going to email you guys every day of the video challenge for 30 days straight. We don't take weekends off. An idea for that day's video. So you don't have to go by that. You can post something totally different, but I'm going to give you a tip on videos and an idea for that day on what to post. So you'll see all these different these are little snippets from the different videos I'm going to send. And I'm going to send one of them will be in your inbox every morning each day. Okay. Any other comments or questions? James or Greg, did you guys have
Yeah, this is James. I was going to see what program or app do you use to edit your videos?
I personally, I don't edit any of my videos. Never have, probably never will. Mine are all raw. And if a car honks in the background or a kid screams in the background, I leave it in the video. My dog barks in the background. It all stays. I think it makes you more human. Like you're real, this is real life James on the streets, you know?
But no captions or anything like
Yeah,
closed
you could
captions or
use captions to add to it. So like on some of the videos I post for my sports card shop that we own, I do add captions to those videos, and TikTok and some of the platforms will allow you to add captions at no cost. So yeah, I guess it's not really, I don't consider that editing, but just kind of adding the captions in, you know?
right.
But CapCut, if you're curious, CapCut is a software tool that is super easy to use. And you can do some minimal editing with that platform. But most of my videos, I record once, I go into put it in CapCut, I add the captions, I might add some background music, and that's it. So good question. Sandy, you unmuted. Did you have a comment or?
Did I unmute? I was just saying I like to use each individual platform because also the platforms like you to edit within them too. And I've noticed that when you use CapCut or like a third party editing system, you may not get as much engagement actually. So if you can utilize the platform itself, I think that's the best way.
Perfect. Perfect. Good tool. That's a good tip. CapCut is owned by TikTok. If you use the one thing I like about CapCut, if you use it for TikTok, to Sandy's point, it doesn't hurt your engagement on TikTok. But what I love about CapCut is they do unbranded, meaning here's your video without the TikTok logo on it that you can use anywhere else. And I've used that on Facebook and stuff like that. But to Sandy's point, I have noticed that it does hurt the engagement a little bit for that platform. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any comments or questions? All right. Yeah, it kind of freaked me out when TikTok shut down for 12 hours. I had some videos parked in CapCut, and CapCut shut down too. For whatever reason, they shut CapCut and TikTok down until the 12-hour ban was done, and then they came back. But all right, so here's 5 steps to success with the 30-day challenge to wrap us up. So step 1, get a starting point for your current number of followers or likes on your business page. Okay. Step 2, select and highlight your favorite ideas from the 41 video ideas page that you're going to get emailed, or just commit to following the plan I'm going to send you from the videos I send you and just copy that. Because by the way, in those videos, I even say, here's what the video can look like. And I actually do like a fake video to like my client so that you can see how you can do yours, right? Step 3, put a reminder in your calendar, like a recurring appointment at the appropriate time to post and each day on each platform. And don't forget to use hashtags. And then if it makes sense to share that video, you can share it as well. So for example, we in our coaching business, we like to coach on post the video on your like Facebook, on like your business Facebook, and then share it if it makes sense. Not all of your videos you want to share, but if it makes sense, share it over to your personal account. So post it on your business account, share it to your personal account. For more than one reason, that makes sense to me. For one, you're going to get more audience now because now everybody on your personal Facebook is going to see that video, even if they don't follow you on your business page. But also it counts as a share on your business page to help the engagement life cycle, right? Number 4, like, comment, and respond to every comment like we talked about, ideally with a question. And then lastly, we want to track each video on the provided tracker. Now, you haven't gotten the tracker yet, but here's what it looks like. It's going to be emailed to you as well. It's got all 30 days on there. What we want you to do is put the date, put the video, kind of like a brief description of the video you posted, and then what social channel did you post it on. So just a super simple tracker we want you to use. And then this is the other tracker that you're going to get, which is, and you want to put your name and date on there because we want you to turn it into us if you don't mind at the end of the 30 days. So we're not charging anything for this, but we would like to kind of capture the data from it, if that makes sense, of who participated, to what extent, and what kind of results did they get. So here's your current number of followers on whatever platforms you have. And then at the end of the 30-day challenge, you want to go in on March 2nd, at the end of March 2nd, or maybe on March 3rd, and here's the new number. Here's how many additions I had, that kind of thing. Any questions on that? All right. And then lastly, by March 10th, if you email your completed video challenge sheets, even if you didn't get 100%, which I can tell you, I've done this. We've done this many, many times. I've never gotten 100%, guys. There's always been a morning that I've woken up like, oh, I forgot to do a video yesterday. Like that might happen to you. Okay. It might happen to you, but please still use it. Don't give up. And email that by March 10th after the video challenge ends to Amanda@turnthedialcoaching.com. And you're going to be entered to win a $50 gift card. Now, I'm going to sweeten it a little bit by saying this. For every 10 videos that you actually do post in the 30-day challenge, you're going to get 1 entry for the $50 gift card. If you post all 30 days, if you're that like person that got lucky and was able to get it all 30 days, you're going to get 5 entries for the $50 gift card. Okay, any questions on the little incentive? All right, so that's that. And outside of that, any final questions for you guys? And then I'll let you guys get about your day.
Thank you for doing this, Scott. It's been very helpful.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thanks, Greg.
Is tomorrow day 1?
No, February 1st.
Oh, February. Okay, thank you.
February 1st, yeah. That's a
But
good
if you
question, Mike.
don't
I did not
wanna
say
wait,
that. Yeah,
just
February
start.
1st. It's a February challenge. It's kind of funny because we've done this in February every year, and there's not 30 days in February, so it kind of throws people off. But that's why we go through March 2nd. So yeah, start February 1st, go through March 2nd. Hey, quick side note, Greg. I'm dropping a book in the mail for you. It's a long time coming. I apologize I didn't get out sooner, but it's heading your way soon.
Awesome.
Any other final questions or comments before we wrap up? All right, you guys. Good luck to you. Make sure you
Thanks,
follow us
Scott.
on Facebook if you don't already, and we'll post some updates and some other tips on there as the month goes by. But good luck to all of you guys, and I wish you luck on growing your social channels.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
Absolutely,
you.
Mike. Take care, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.